Hi guys. So, special little message. You're going to be seeing this randomly throughout the video. Just know, I didn't want to put that there, but this video got blocked even though this is my very first video. So, yeah, whenever you see it, just know I had to put it there. That way I could actually post this and you could actually see this. Anyways, I hope you enjoy. 2003.
Mike, I got an election.
I gotta say, was a pretty stacked year. And this is coming from someone who wasn't even alive or conceived at this point. We were eating good in every category: movies, games, and shows. Just to list a few examples, we were getting Bad Boys 2, Sonic Heroes, Ratchet & Clank Going Commando, Pirates of the Caribbean, Jack 2, TMNT, Teen Titans, the good one, Ninja Storm, 2.5 Men, Sonic X, Hulk, X-Men 2, Lord of the Rings, My Life as a Teenage Robot, Spider-Man, and the most critically acclaimed game of the year, Simpsons Hit and Run.
I can't serve booze to a minor, it ain't right.
I'm here to buy fireworks.
Oh, hell yeah.
Along with all these bangers, we were also being fed extremely well with comics, with the likes of Ultimate Spider-Man, Superman Batman, The Walking Dead, and a new challenger quickly approaching the scene. To continue the story though, we gotta take a few steps back, going back to the simple start of one comic book writer, Robert Kirkman, after recently creating his new comic, Battle Pope.
What the hell is this?
Which got welcomed with meh reception. Afterwards, he's tasked with coming up with a new hero for indie comic book publisher, Image. And after looking at many Marvel and DC heroes alike for inspiration, including a certain Canadian creator influencing it, no, not that one, along with Corey Walker and Ryan Otley, the trio banded their big brains together to create the new superhero. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce Invincible. Though, I never read it, because who the fuck reads anymore? It got met with great success, going on for 144 issues featuring multiple spin-offs, and coming to an end on February 14th, 2018, the Day of Love. The comic went on to gain a cult following style, being loved but not as big as other projects like Batman or Robert's other creation, The Walking Dead.
Tell you the day, Mr. Yo, it's the day I take orders from a
Though still not as big as those projects, people still wanted a show out of Invincible. But then a company heard their cries and whispered in their ear, "We shall make the show for you." In 2008, made by MTV.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, you heard me right. Invincible had a show made by MTV in 2008. While it was just a motion comic and nothing too crazy, it was still made by MTV, aired on MTV. Same network with Jersey Shore, by the way.
Be cool with everybody here. I don't want to fight with you guys.
Go, bro. Oh, yeah. I had to move the table because it was getting real serious. I didn't want anything to happen to the table.
Though the show is now considered to be lost media, until I found this playlist on YouTube. Though, to be honest, I'm not 100% sure if this is the MTV show or if it's fan-made. Although, if it is fan-made, I'd recommend checking the guy out. It's some pretty impressive work, and if you don't like reading, you can just listen to it. So if you're interested, I'll be sure to leave a link to this guy's channel in my description. And after that 2008 show, there really wasn't anything on the horizon for an actual animated Invincible show. Until Jeff Bezos heard all those cries, leading to Amazon of all companies growing some interest in the show, eyeing it up, like that one guy eyeing you up at your local Starbucks. Interested in the way it balances both its mature and brutal elements, along with managing to squeeze in that classic superhero vibes everyone seems to love. And don't lie, cause I got the proof.
Why is Gamora?
So they go on to approach Robert, sat him down, and proposed the idea for an animated series following the comics. Robert and his team, after taking a good look at the proposal, all agreed, and they all high-fived on August 11, 2017, signing a deal with Amazon. While this was all happening, it was announced in April 2017 that they would be working on a live-action movie for Invincible, with Evan Goldenberg and the funny laugh man Seth Rogen set to write and direct the movie. As well as having Robert be a part of the team, being produced by Universal Studios. Though the film entered an hiatus state when it got announced, and while it has been officially cancelled, safe to say we won't be getting this anytime soon. Who knows, maybe it'll take as long as the FNAF movie, just hopefully better.
Was that the bite of 87?
Back to the show. Robert and his company, Skybound Entertainment, started production on the show on June 19th, 2018, with Skybound tasked with the animation and Robert tasked with production. The team worked really hard on the show over time until they could finally reveal their work to the whole world. October 8th, 2020, the year nothing happened. get the fuck out. The first trailer released and was met with positive feedback. Audiences and critics loving how it looks, as well as being impressed with the cast, featuring Steven Yeun as our main Invincible boy.
What you did was not nice! It's not nice to do that!
J.K. Simmons as Omni-Man.
You are a worthless, friendless fag.
And many other familiar voices. The trailer shows off this new colorful world, along with the year that it will come out. 2021. The same year Robert's other creation, The Walking Dead, ended after 11 long seasons.
I just slid my dick down your throat, and you thanked me for it.
Funny coincidence, but a lot of the cast from The Walking Dead is featured in Invincible as well.
So I'm gonna assume that was a joke and I don't need to beat your ass until all you wanna do is call me dad again.
With the year now showing off, many fans now waited in utter excitement.
Yes.
Both old fans of the comics and new young fans excited at the look of a brand new show, and so they waited. Not very long though, as another trailer came out on February 19th, 2021, showing off the more mature elements in the show and featuring a release date for the excited fans, March 26, 2021. And so, fans waited patiently, and patiently, and patiently, and
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it!
And so the day finally arrived and the show premiered with 3 episodes.
Bitch.
Afterwards, airing each episode weekly, ending with a total amount of 8 episodes in the first season, with the season ending on April 30th, 2021. Both fans and critics fell in love with the show, giving it amazingly positive reviews, with it managing to get 8.6 on IMDb, as well as a 98% on Rotten Tomatoes from critics, and a 93% from the audience.
Impressive. Very nice.
But what made it so amazing? What did they fall in love with? What was done right? If he's invincible, then why can't I see him? Well, let's take the show apart bit by piece, so we can find all the juicy details there are to find. So get your snacks, get comfy, get your blankie, and let's take a look at...
You know me, the fighting freak Knuckles, and we're at Pumpkin Hill. You ready?
The story starts like any other, with the White House getting attacked. Our attackers this time being... the Mahler twins, voiced by Kevin Michael Richardson, with their plan being to assassinate the president. Wow, lots of people have been trying that recently, huh? As they continue to storm the White House, they get rudely interrupted by a superhero team going by the name the Guardians of the Globe. Now clearly there's a lot of characters here, so we're gonna do a lightning round going through all of them. Okay.
Let's do it.
We get introduced to heroes like Red Rush, aka Russian Flash, War Woman, pretty self-explanatory, Martian Man, that man's from Mars, Darkwing, aka Travis Scott, Green Ghost from Ghostbusters, Aquarius, that's just a fish, Immortal, Abraham Lincoln, and as well introducing us to the main man himself with the legendary stash, Omni-Man.
Get the fuck out of my sight before I demolish you.
Alright, I know I threw a lot of names at you right now. Don't worry about it. You're not gonna need to remember them for very long. They work together to save the bystanders nearby by fucking playing catch with them, and then proceeding to gang up on the Mahler twins. Afterwards, we cut to our main Invincible boy, Mark. Right now though, he's just your average teenager in a superhero show before he gets his powers, having a strong heart, standing up to bullies and standing up for others, even if he gets bitched. Though he's desperate to become a hero just like his dad, till one day working the grueling 9 to 5. While taking out the trash, he awakens his powers, tossing the trash across the fucking planet. Going back home to break the news to his family during dinner, where his dad seems to react weird to hearing this news.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
Are you sure?
Threw a trash bag into space.
Are you sure?
After dinner, we cut to a scene of Nolan and the young Mark. Nolan explains to Mark about his people, the Viltrumites, explaining how they're peacekeepers throughout all the planets, protecting them from any threats whatsoever. Remember this. Afterwards, we cut to Mark. He's laying there impatiently, as he doesn't want to wait any longer to try flying, so he decides to finally step out to take his first flight. And it goes terribly. Then we cut to the next morning, where Mark and his dad finally start their training. Though in the middle of it, something must have pissed Omni-Man off, because he punches the shit out of Mark. Afterwards, the vibe between the two starts to shift off, and causes Mark to go into vigilante mode, flying out to Chicago with his own makeshift costume, which looks pretty shit.
You don't got it! You do not have it! Stop putting on the persona for these niggas out here! You don't got it!
Where he goes to encounter his first villain, Patrick's house, playing fucking ping pong with the man. which then leads to Omni-Man catching Mark, clearly lacking in his drip. The two share a heart-to-heart moment, Mark clearly expressing his desire to live up to his father's superhero name. Nolan then offers to make it up to him for the rough training earlier. They fly off to meet Art, voiced by Mark Hamill, aka the fucking Joker.
I'm crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS? No, thank you.
Where his current job now is to max out Mark's drip. He tries to give him a hand-me-down, but to be honest, it looks like shit as well. And instead he calls him ungrateful and tells him to get the fuck out until he knows what he wants. Mark and his mom Debbie, voiced by Sandra Oh,
Somebody detain me!
have a heart-to-heart, Mark not knowing how to live up to his dad.
He's done. How can I possibly live up to all that?
Who says you have to? You don't have to be the greatest Omni-Man ever. You just have to be the greatest you.
And what if the greatest me isn't enough?
Mark, you stupid boy. How could the greatest you not be enough?
Thank you. I love my boring, powerless, everyday run-of-the-mill mom.
And I love my asshole son.
Mark and Nolan are now playing a good game of catch, Mark nearly hitting a fucking plane. Where his dad gives him the idea for his hero name and for his costume.
Holds them back, makes them careless. The thing is, you're different. You actually are invincible.
Running to Luke Skywalker, where he finally achieves max drip, flying around and then harassing a man. Finally introducing us to...
But I'm not done yet.
As the episode isn't over yet, so we see what all the Guardians are up to. Did he just fucking murder that man? All being called into the Guardians HQ, but confused who called them. Until... Confused as to why he's attacking them, they all fight in self-defense, holding their own against him until he catches Red Rush and...
My interest? Olga, please. You can't see things how I do. My perception is just as fast as I am. The briefest conversation with anyone seems like hours to me. It's agony. But with you, it's a gift.
Afterwards, he continues on to the rest of the members. One by one, they're dead. The remaining three keep fighting, and they get a few good hits in, but they don't last much longer.
Why? Why?
Omni-Man just sits there in the bloody aftermath, passing out.
Jesus Christ.
We see the cleanup of the massacre as they carry out Omni-Man to the ER, unaware of what actually happened here.
I know what you did!
We were introduced to Donald, voiced by Chris, I'm not trying that.
That's a kid up there. Where's your gun safety?
And Cecil, the head of the GDA, basically FBI but for superheroes, voiced by Walton Goggins, a national treasure.
Ooh. Sleep, motherfucker!
Later cutting to Mark and Debbie hearing about Nolan going to visit him. Mark, seeing his dad in the ER, wants to finally prove himself, so he takes on his first superhero task, a fucking alien invasion. Mark approaches the aliens, but immediately fails his speech check with the aliens, still not being able to control his powers fully, which leads to him mangling an old lady while he tries to save her. I don't think Flex saves fixing that one. Until the Teen Titan, the Teen Team, shows up to help save the day.
That's just lazy writing.
Introducing us to the members, starting with Robot, voiced by Ross Marquand, Duplicate, voiced by Melise, Adamede, voiced by Gillian Jacobs, and Rexplode, voiced by Jason Mantzoukas.
We'll make it quick. I gotta go pull the plug on my dad in 10 minutes.
By the way, both Rex and Eve are dating, just be sure to remember that. The team manages to hold back the aliens, badly, but long enough for them to turn more wrinkly than Gordon Ramsay's forehead, due to science reasons. I don't know, I'm not a nerd.
Yes, science!
Cutting back to Cecil back at the Guardians HQ, still trying to figure out what happened in here, until he felt a cold breeze. And he gets a visit by a very familiar face, Mr. Krabs, but in reality, it's a demon detective, Damien Darkblood, voiced by Clancy Brown. All of them questioning, trying to put together the pieces of who really killed the Guardians of the Globe. I mean, like, we don't know at all, do we? Mark goes on to hang with Eve to meet the other Teen Team members, and everyone continues their daily routines, until the Gordon Ramsay aliens finally come back. Oh, what's this? They're no longer turning wrinkly. Oh, never mind. Mark also experiences his first crash out of the show, the first of many. Oh, and look at that! Omni-Man's back! And things with the family are all back to normal, until another damn alien shows up. So they send Mark to go deal with him. Is that fucking Seth Rogen? This ends up being our introduction to Alan the Alien, voiced by you-know-who, who's actually a pretty chill guy, part of a group called the Coalition of Planets, where he's here on a mission to test the planet's defense, but turns out Apple Map led him to the wrong planet, and he fucks off. And just when we thought the aliens left us alone, they think third time's a charm, and guess what? It was! While Mark lays there beaten to a pulp, Omni-Man finally makes his return, no diffing the whole army, ending up on their planet. And absolute cinema. That's all I'm gonna say. The next episode goes to cover the memorial of the Guardians. Omni-Man speaking for the funerals, crazy work is what I say. And then going on to talk shit about them?
Hey, he could run fast, okay? It's not exactly one of your premier superpowers.
Crazy behavior. I just wouldn't take that, even if I was dead. Mark, though, finally stops being
such a little bitch.
Finally calling Amber. Yeah, remember her?
No.
Who's voiced by Zazie Beetz.
I'm gonna be a baby mama, and that's okay because I chose black.
Meanwhile, Eve over there is sitting in the cuck chair. Rex having something going on with Duplicate. 3 of them, actually.
Rex said you're dating Invincible now. Said that you guys talked about it. What?
Oh, don't give me that. It's true. What did you expect, huh?
Oh, Rex, you piece of shit. Tryouts for the new Guardians of the Globe finally open up, with a bunch of randoms here, like Donkey Kong.
Oh, great heavens!
After the tryouts, the team's final members consist of Rexplode, Robot, Duplicate, and newcomers Monster Girl, voiced by Grey DeLisle, who actually voices a lot of random side characters, Shrinking Ray, voiced by, and Black Samson, voiced by Kyrie Payton. And the team already starts off great.
I don't know you either, but we need a leader we can look in the eye, not a bunch of ones and zeros.
You need to leave!
All the while, Omni-Man is up there judging like a Christian mother, and honestly, I don't blame him. Mark finally gets his first date with Amber, but it's here he starts to learn the struggle between his personal life and his superhero life. Sound familiar?
My back! Oh, my back!
Getting called to go beat up an old wrinkled up Snively with Eve, calling himself Doc Seismic, voiced by... hang on, I'm noticing something. Trying to destroy Mount Rushmore for reasons, I don't know, he hates society. After the fight, falling into some lava. Someone didn't carry their door in their pocket. Finally getting back to Amber, Mark apparently maxed out his charisma stat, managing to save the date. Even Rex though, they go to break up. And Eve lands back in that chair, watching Mark and Amber.
I have crippling depression.
Cut to a prison. Hey, that's Shang-Chi, where we get to see the Mauler twins again. Yeah, remember them?
No.
As they now broke out of prison with the help of Robot. What? Leaving us with even more questions than answers with every episode. All the while, Debbie grows more wary of the truth behind the Guardians, investigating more after a visit from Mr. Krabs, pissing Nolan off to the point where he goes to pay him a visit.
Go fuck yourself, Darkblood.
And we see in the next episode, Mark and Amber's relationship grows more and more, but then Mark is put to the test with a new mission.
To the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
And instead accompany astronauts to Mars. Wait, is that CGI?
Am I tweaking?
A chance to further prove himself as a hero and improve his skills, flying up to the spaceship as it takes off, managing to And once they finally land in Mars, Mark, like your average Gen Z, pulls out his phone and scrolls on TikTok. And once he realizes how shitty the service is on Mars, he checks on the astronauts, and they've been taken to the Shadow Realm. He looks around to find them, where he goes to find a cellar. I wouldn't open that though. Going down, he's met with Martian civilization, where they explain to Mark about the Sequids, basically the equivalent of a facehugger, but instead of a Kinder Surprise popping out your chest, you become possessed, and they form a hive mind, and that's on the no-no list. So they try to kill the astronauts to prevent that happening, and spreading to other planets. Invincible says, "No, fuck off," and him and the other astronauts book it to get off the planet. But surprise, they seem to have an unexpected guest. And look at that! They all manage to get back to Earth safe and sound, while Mark gets greeted home with BDSM. All the while, Mr. Krabs was getting too involved in the investigation, so Cecil decides to do the right thing. Exorcise him.
What the barnacles? Oh no, me heart stopped! I'm fucking dying!
We then get our first glimpse at the real robot. Isn't that guy cutie?
You're one
Ugly motherfucker.
And on the next episode, we start to see the strain Mark's double life is having on him, hurting his relationship with Amber, where he's even missing important dates like meeting her mom. Speaking of parents, we also get to meet Eve's parents.
Rex cheated on me. Teen Team broke up. They're both over. It happens.
Forgive him.
What?
All guys make mistakes. Don't be a...
Yeah, that's it. You're getting castrated. And then she moves out. Oh, and remember that guy Mark played ping pong with? His name is Titan, voiced by Marshala Ali, an enforcer for a guy named Machine Head, aka the equivalent of when you breathed in helium as a kid.
I know where your family lives, and that means you work for me until I say you're fucking done.
My name is Barry. I'm the fastest man alive.
Voiced by Jeffrey Donovan. Titan's struggling to break free from him while trying to support his wife and daughter, leading to him asking Invincible for help.
Help me! Help me!
While he's hesitant at first, especially with his dad telling him that he's being tricked and it's beneath him,
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Mark eventually agrees to take down the Autotune bot. All the while, Robot meets with the Muller twins, making a deal with them so they make him a new body. Mark and Titan jump out of the battle bus, landing in Tilted as they break in rushing Machine Head, where it's revealed he had already predicted this. And in comes a random group of villains and... why do I hear boss music? The duo getting absolutely whipped. All the while Omni-Man watches. It's really like watching like Eve. Mark decides it's finally time to lock in and starts soloing all the villains, until Battle Beast instantly shut that shit down. Oh, what's this? It's the Guardian...
Okay.
Battle Beast no diffed them so hard, they rage quit because it was too easy. The Guardians, somehow, handled the rest, so they weren't that useless in bringing Machine Head. And turns out, it was all part of Titan's plan instead, taking over Machine Head's operation, promising to do better for the community. That's good and all, but we cut to the hospital and everyone's almost fucking dead. Where the next episode starts with Mark getting surgery, Robot taking care of Monster Girl, and Black Samsung somehow obtaining the powers he once lost. Sometime after, Mark finally was able to wake up, although the other two still remained in the hospital recovering. At this point, Amber and Mark's relationship is on its last legs, with how many dates Mark has missed with his superhero life, but they plan a trip together to university to try and salvage their relationship, with Mark's best friend William going along with them. Oh shit, I forgot to mention him, haven't I?
I can't remember.
William is voiced by Andrew Reynolds. Upon arriving at the university, they go on to meet William's college boyfriend, Rick, voiced by Luke McFarlane. Unfortunately though, kidnappings have been going on at this college, where it's revealed after the attack that people are being turned into mindless cyborg zombie things? What the fuck is that? They call him Reanimate. And while Mark changes to protect the group from one of said Reaniman as Invincible, it looked to Amber that Mark just abandoned her, and basically, she ends their relationship. And don't worry, it doesn't get any better, cause you remember William's boyfriend? Yeah, he got kidnapped.
Don't care. Where's Rick?
And look at that, now William is as well. Mark can just not catch a break, can he? Surely it can't get any worse, can it?
In the business, we call this foreshadowing.
Mark goes on to find and save William, but was too late to save Rick before he got turned into a Reaniman.
Oh, no.
And the guy responsible tries to run away. D.A. Sinclair, voiced by Ezra Miller. Yeah, remember that name?
Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
Whoa, bro. Yeah, Sutsi's voicing this character. Anyways, this is satisfying to see. William left heartbroken. Mark feels guilty for what happened, and for what happened with Amber. But surely things are good at home, right?
Fuck you, Nolan.
Oh. Throughout the show, Debbie and Nolan kept trying to salvage their marriage. Because after the incident, there was a huge strain on their relationship due to Nolan not telling her everything. And it all concludes when Debbie finds the ripped up suit that Nolan had on when he murdered the Guardians of the Galaxy. Going to Art the Clown here, where he concludes that each of the Guardians' blood is on his suit, confirming once and for all to Debbie that it was Nolan. Heartbroken and drunk, she confronts him, and this is where all the pieces from episode 1 start to come together. The climax approaches now, with Debbie finding out the truth. What'll happen now?
Next time on Dragon Ball Z.
Debbie tries to talk to Nolan one last time, but it ends with him leaving. Afterwards, with Donald abruptly bursting in to escort Debbie to Cecil, Mark and the gang are finally getting back from the trip, and oh, my favorite scene. Mark decides to finally reveal his identity to Amber, hopeful to clear up all the misunderstandings they had, and...
I know you're a superhero.
You know? You know?
I'm not an idiot. I figured it out weeks ago.
Then why are we fighting?
We're fighting because you lied to me. You made me feel stupid and unimportant.
It's a secret identity.
And because you don't trust me.
I'm trusting you now.
Oh my god. I mean, it's cute you think that's enough.
But, Amber.
Fly away, flyboy. Or take the stairs. I really don't give a shit. I'd like to be alone.
It's a recap right now. As much as I wanna, and as much as my veins pop out for this stupid plot, now's not the time.
That comes later.
Mark goes to William and...
You can fly. You're invulnerable. Your dad's the greatest superhero on Earth, and your mom loves and cares about you. You just need to study and you can pull up your grades. But you were a terrible boyfriend to Amber, and you got what you deserved. Sorry, not sorry.
Go fuck yourself!
Anyways, moving on from that shit, the Guardians are all meeting up right now, celebrating together the return of all the members and their recovery. Meanwhile, Robot here is meeting the Mauler twins, where it's revealed to us that Robot wanted the new body for himself. Clearly. In exchange, he gives the twins a control collar. After the deal is made, he goes on to copy his mind into the new body. The procedure goes obviously quite well, with the clone now awake and alive, going to comfort the little Danny DeVito-sized one as he passes away. Pour one out for the homie. Turns out, Robot was being a little shit, betraying the Mauler twins.
Come dance, Medic Hospitality. I'll come out of my house and I'll break your fucking legs, you little prick!
But he gets called back to the Guardians HQ, leaving the twins alone. We cut back to Nolan getting back home to find Mark. Clearly pissed the beer wasn't refilled, he goes on homicidal rage, murdering all the GDA soldiers hidden in his home. And thanks to this dumbass here, basically selling him out, Nolan finds out where Donald is. But before he can kill him, he uses a fucking... We go to see Mark finding Eve for some comfort after getting dumped. I'd personally be more relieved if I was him. Nolan looking for Mark stops William.
Where is he?
And after William tells him where he went, he fucks off to go find him to get him to restock the fridge. But actually, it's to tell Mark the truth finally. Robot gets back to Guardians HQ, and I haven't mentioned this, but in case you couldn't tell, his new body was made off the DNA of Rex, without his consent, due to it seeming like Monster Girl finding Rex attractive, and Robot clearly has feelings for Monster Girl, which is the whole reason why he did this, and his actual name is Rudy.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, they all get obviously weirded out, cause... what the actual fuck? Anyways, Cecil decides to take more drastic measures, now on offense against Omni-Man, firing a goddamn Hammer of Dawn on Nolan. What the fuck? And he just walks it off. After that fails, Cecil decides to try and talk one-on-one with Nolan. Nolan clearly wanted none of that.
Yo, you lagging? Nah! Yo, nah! Yo!
So Cecil leaves, and called in the... wait, he's still around? The Reaniman arrived, and he actually managed to jump Nolan.
Fight back, nigga! Fight back, nigga! Fight back! Fight back!
Didn't last long, though, once he locked in. Now surely that's all Cecil had left, right?
No.
While all this is happening, you remember the Immortal? Well, turns out that it's a name more warranting then. As just a few staples, and look at that! The twins attach the control collar onto him, and after a few love taps... Even Mark, while flying, noticed a huge kaiju in the distance, and while Mark rushes in to help, Cecil orders Eve to fuck off, leaving Mark and Nolan to 2v1 this kaiju as Cecil preys on Omni-Man's downfall. While fighting the kaiju, in come at lightning speed, it's Immortal! And he's actually doing better than when Nolan jumped. Well, that didn't last long, but Immortal's not done yet, as he starts to finger Nolan's eyes. Nolan retaliates by chopping him in half, and by that point, Mark managed to handle the kaiju by giving it the electric chair. But Mark is left in shock, basically witnessing his dad outright murder a superhero, a member of his old team, and then Nolan slowly approaches Mark with a line leaving chills down my spine.
Mark. We need to talk.
Mark immediately lunges at Nolan, not wanting to believe his father did it of his own free will. Nolan tries to calm him down, explaining everything to Mark, the truth, revealing Viltrumites weren't really peacekeepers. They basically held their own Hunger Games, calling out their weak, and essentially erasing half their race, afterwards going on to conquer other planets forcefully. And Earth is now one of those planets, Nolan being sent there to control it.
Sure of what?
Sure you were a Viltrumite.
So if I wasn't, I'd just be one more human to conquer? No, this doesn't make any sense. You love me.
You love Mom. I know you do.
Mark just can't seem to understand the heartbreaking truth. Mark refuses to give in to his dad, starting the fight between them. But clearly, it's not a fair one. The fight gets taken all the way to Chicago. Nolan trying to break Mark by murdering thousands of innocents, guilting Mark, leaving him hurt, confused, and traumatized by the outright massacre he feels partly responsible for, leaving all those dead in Chicago during the battle. So Nolan smacks him elsewhere, but wherever they went, they left innocents dead. Mark can't hope to even leave a scratch on his dad, but despite all the brutal punishment from his dad, Mark just won't give up, as Nolan begins to smack him into the ground until he can't even stand. He gets a flashback to the family memories of Mark's childhood.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw.
Where we see Nolan standing over his limp and near lifeless son. And we just see Nolan left there conflicted, not being able to bear with what he's done. He just flies away, leaving Mark there. Cecil comes to recover Mark and get him to the ER, but the world was left scarred from the battle's outcome and destruction. Even Mark's family won't be the same, as they're both left broken mentally due to Nolan. After he gets out of the hospital, William even... Amber!
Everything that is ugly, cruel, stupid, but most importantly, ugly. Everything is your fault.
I'll go check to see how he's doing. While Mark just reflects on all that's happened, he gets called to space as surprise. Alan came back. He comes warning about a Viltrumite, but you're a bit late. The show concludes with Mark reflecting with Alan. The Guardians finally become a proper team and manage to get along. The Maulers are back in jail, and many other plot points teased for the future seasons.
Finish high school, I guess.
Oh, alright, good. Sounds good. What is high school?
So, what
All of
worked?
this just works.
Well, for starters, the show was honestly a breath of fresh air when it released, both in terms of superhero content and the way it handled the mystery element. The way the show beautifully structures the mystery is absolutely fabulous. How it starts all innocent, like your average superhero story, from your Spider-Man to your Avengers, and so on. A young hero learning to control his powers, but this time with his father. Well, until not ever hiding the fact that it was Nolan all along, showing from the very first episode, Nolan is a menace. Rather making more of a mystery on the why. Why did Nolan do it? All the while not shying away from the violence, showing a more realistic aspect to the superhero world. Well, as realistic as this show can be. Throughout the show, we see the cracks show more and more as the truth about Nolan gets closer, giving every scene he's in a small amount of tension as the season progresses, waiting for him to crash out. All the while, we get to see Mark's very first journey, learning how to be a superhero, how to be... Well, he at least learned how to be a better hero. Now, I'm not sure if you were able to tell through the video, but the animation? Beautiful. Though yes, it's not perfect, with some floating PNGs and sometimes questionable shots, it still left a lasting impression on the eyes, improving the already amazing story and the character moments, bringing to life the comic book, as well as bringing to life all the characters we meet in the show. I've already introduced all the important ones, you remember them, right?
No.
And they are all just handled so beautifully. From Eve struggling to find her purpose and place in life, through her struggles with Rex and her parents, ending with her going on her own, which seems to work out just fine for her. Sure hope it doesn't backfire. Or with the new Guardians of the Globe, learning how to work better in a team and getting along, learning how to care for others, and learning how to not be an actual buns team. Though it was Battle Beast, so it's kind of understandable. Though, to be fair, we don't see much development in each of the members specifically. Duplicate kind of stays the same throughout the show. Shrinking Ray is just kind of there. Same with Monster Girl, she doesn't change as much. The main three that get any development this season specifically is Robot, Rex, and Black Samson, I guess. Seeing Robot develop feelings for Monster Girl, expressing his desires to be more human like the rest, as we see his original body is fucked up. but clearly goes a bit too far, just stealing Rex's DNA, which is still so weird. Why do they just move on from this so quickly?
You's a freaky ass nigga!
Rex learns better to be less of a dick, getting more along with his teammates, though he's still a dick. He's less of one. Baby steps, baby steps. And Black Samson, kind of the same. He doesn't really develop much. I mean, he gets his powers back, but I mean, in the end, he just learns to be less of a dick to his teammates and just loosens up. We got Cecil and Donald here, both trying to organize everything while still not understanding the whole motive of why the Guardians were murdered, as he finds out pretty quickly it was Nolan.
You likely are the sus imposter.
And poor Debbie. I was only surprised at how involved her character was, and it was heartbreaking seeing her slowly find out the truth about Nolan, while also seeing her be an important pillar to Mark's character, and it was especially devastating seeing her reaction to the final battle. But hey, she's single now, it seems. The show also features a wide cast of villains this season, lots of which will reappear. Yes, even the one that fell into the Earth's fucking core. Okay, it's been nothing but positives. What's the fault in the show? Oh god, this stupid fucking plot. So yeah, Mark has a social life outside of the GDA and hero friends. William is his very gay friend. I emphasize it because I swear from the moment he spoke, my gaydar activated. And he's a cool character. He goes through a little development when he gets kidnapped, seeing his boyfriend get turned into a Rihanna man, and seeing his reaction did hurt, but he's more of just a comedic relief, though I still love seeing him and definitely want to see more of him next season. Just wish he got more development. And then there's Amber. Okay, now she starts off fine. A strong, independent girl, knows what she wants, and kicks men in the balls. Now, at first, it's understandable why she gets so upset at Mark. To her, he just seems like a lazy bum, always missing out on their dates. But when he finally decided to reveal his secret, she fucking knew? So you just knew, and you still told him that he ran away from you, when in reality, he was saving you.
Yes.
Who wrote this part? Which one of you was it? This is like the only big issue I have with this whole first season. It's not bad enough that it hurts the whole show for me, it's just an annoyance. Like if you were cooked the absolute best meal ever by Gordon Ramsay, but just one part of the meal was a bit too overcooked, would you let that ruin the meal for you? If you said yes, fuck you. Yeah, let me just put Amber where she belongs.
Know your fucking place, trash.
The only two characters we haven't fully gone over are the two main stars here. Nolan and Mark's relationship is the highlight and the true main focus of the show. I know I just mentioned earlier that it's a superhero and murder mystery show, but in reality, that's just the mask. Take off the mask and stop taking the normal pills, and you'll see. It's actually a story between a father and a son. Mark looks up to his dad like your average kid, wanting to live up to his expectations, prove that he's worthy of being Omni-Man's son. Throughout the show, we see the bond they hold, Nolan clearly loving and caring for Mark, despite the fact that there's a dark side hidden to him. The show pulls on our heartstrings, as every moment they're together, we know we're gonna reach the point where Mark finds out his dad isn't quite the man that he says he is. And that point arrives at the end of episode 7, seeing his dad chop up Immortal like a fruit ninja, leading into episode 8, one of the best episodes of the entire series. Mark's world falling apart as Nolan tells him the truth and he's basically with the Space Nice Guys. The leading plot of the murder mystery, Mark learning to be a hero, and the father-son bond, comes to a conclusion. Mark and his dad share one final convo, but Nolan calling Debbie a pet, Mark does not stand for it.
The dude minds. This will not stand, you know? This aggression will not stand, man.
Fighting back against his dad, who he once looked up to, the man that raised him, that gave him life. And Nolan, without hesitation, fights back. Mark has actually no chance at all against him, but rather than Nolan just knocking out Mark or just killing him, which he could easily do in this moment, he decides to take his time with his son, trying to break his son mentally. Wherever their fight took them, Nolan made sure people were dying, as well as making sure Mark felt responsible for their deaths, going as far as holding Mark against a train, murdering everyone. And it's honestly a horrifying display. But there's a reason this show is called Invincible. We've seen throughout the show Mark isn't literally invincible, but it's his spirit. No matter what he's gone through, Mark refused to give up, and in this instance, he's refusing to give up to his dad. He stays invincible even against his father's wishes. Nolan sees this and gives up trying to break Mark, this time just outright trying to murder him. He beats his own son so bad he knocked out all of his teeth, leaving him in a pool of his own blood. Suddenly, we cut to the past, a random day during Mark's childhood. It's not even a big event like a birthday, it's just another regular day for the family. Mark's playing baseball as Nolan and Debbie watch, but rather, it was a big day for Nolan. It was a day Nolan learned how to be a human. Debbie's here explaining to Nolan the joys of having a child, it's a second chance for parents. But for Nolan, it's a literal second chance. It was at this moment, Nolan wasn't a Viltrumite conqueror. He was just Mark's father. He was Debbie's husband. He was human. His second chance has already started. And this time, he chose being a human. As he embraces his wife, seeing Mark hit a home run, picking up his son, we could see on Nolan's face how proud he was. This was the moment in his life Nolan was truly happy. And we can see it on Mark's face. So was he. In this moment, Nolan became a human. But we all know what's happening right now. We see in reality Nolan stopped beating Mark. Nolan lost that second chance. Whatever good came out of it was completely undone, and there was no going back. Mark is just there motionless, his face all smashed in. Nolan just sat there hesitating. He didn't know what to do. He was filled with confliction after confliction, all of it turning into rage. And this one sentence completely broke Nolan.
What will you have after 500 years?
I still have you.
All he can do is back up from his son, staring at his hands, drenched in his own son's blood. All he felt was complete regret. He now knows what he did. He's destroyed his humanity. He's destroyed his second chance. Nolan had returned to his original roots. He relapsed. His image destroyed. His friendships gone. And most importantly, his family, he destroyed himself. Mark lays there calling out to his dad, but Nolan can't even get a word out. Just flying away from Mark, he left behind his humanity. He left behind his second chance. He left behind his family, not knowing if he could ever be human again. This season as a whole is perfect to me, and that scene between Nolan and Mark further proves that to me. I even added it to my list of favorite shows after finishing back in 2021. The story setup is amazing, the writing, the way they handle characters like Debbie and Eve, the relationship between Nolan and Mark brings it all together. And it seems to me many agree with this statement, as well as many agreeing in the fact that Amber should go fuck herself. Even with the small amount of flaws it had, the season was perfect, and loved by many due to its qualities and strengths, quickly becoming one of the most streamed shows on Amazon, rising in popularity, and even rising in brain rot.
Interesting day.
Are you sure?
All this success led to Amazon renewing the show for a second season, airing a whole 3 years later.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn!
At least it's nothing compared to Attack on Titan Season 2 wait. I doubt another superhero show will ever have a first season hit so hard for me personally compared to Invincible. I love these characters. I love this world. I love the story. I love everything about it. And if you really enjoyed the video, consider giving the other seasons a watch. Maybe I'll go over them too someday, if I feel like it. With all that said, that, folks, was the perfect first season of... Hey guys, welcome to the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you really liked it, be sure to subscribe. You'll be expecting more content of this from me. I just wanted to leave this at the end, considering it's my first video. Just wanted to introduce the channel a bit, and say thanks again, because this took a lot longer than I thought this would be. I thought this would be like a 20-minute video. I get it done in like a week. This took me over 2 months. So I put a lot of hard work into it, and while it's not perfect, I'm proud of it. And if anything, I probably could just improve the mic quality, but it's just like, I'm broke as shit, so excuse the poor mic quality, but still, I hope I entertained you, you enjoyed it, and honestly, this is not meant to like replace the enjoyment of Invincible Season 1. I still highly encourage, if you like this video, go watch the season, because oh my god, it's just an amazing experience. It's one of my favorite seasons in a superhero show ever, and I highly recommend. And even then, even if you don't wanna, because you're a bitch, still go check out Season 2 and 3. It's just an amazing show, and I hope to someday go to cover on the rest of them. I just now will be going into it thinking it'll be very long videos, so I'm prepared more for the future ones. But yeah, so this channel will just be basically gaming, TV shows, obviously, and stuff like that. Like, I'll just be going over them, making fun videos, and just basically whatever I want to do that thinks is fun to make. If you guys want to see something, let me know, and if you have honest feedback, write it in the comments. I mean, I want to get better at this. This is a fun hobby for me, and I can get better at this and be more entertaining. Let me know. And so I'm already working on the next video. Devil May Cry Netflix anime. So expect that soon. It's not gonna be as long because it's not as long as Invincible. Thank fuck. But I'll be working on that soon. Got a lot to say about it. I have not watched it, but I've heard a lot about it, so already forming opinions, but I won't say anything till I watch it, but just be on the lookout for that in a couple of weeks. But yeah, again, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a great day. And with that,
fuck off you fat useless sack of fucking Yankee danky doodle shite. Fuck off, will you please?